What's up everyone? Welcome to our first live stream. Can you guys tell me if you can hear me well? Since it's our first live, I'm not too sure about the settings and stuff, so yeah. I can see the live chat at least. TGMF, hello. Savas, hello. Nice to see you guys. Savas, I'm not sure who you are if you're inside the Discord, by the way. That's TGMF, of course. I do know you, my guy. But can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if am I even live? How does that work? Oh man, I probably needed a bit more preparation. Am I live? Yeah, I should be live actually. I should be live. If you guys could just let me know in the live chat if the stream has started so we can just go ahead with our analysis. Crazy moves on Bitcoin, we can't even take the freaking weekend off. Like, all good, all good. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. How are you guys? So, I guess I'll get right into it. You're probably here for the charts. So, we've seen a pretty big move on Bitcoin. I just want to recap what happened this week. Well, if you remember inside the Discord, it was on Friday. I didn't trade it, honestly. I probably did miss a long position, right? I mean, it was a pretty easy long in hindsight. So we had the CME gap around $77,000 that everyone was waiting for, and that's why I wanted to see a reversal higher right now. Or if we tested the CME gap, I probably expected lower prices. And well, we know what happened. Price front ran the CME gap and reversed to the upside. So it's a pretty easy move in hindsight. We've hit big levels on altcoins. I've opened along on Ethereum. We were waiting for this level for such a long time. It has been hit. I was still a bit late on my long position. I entered right on the breakout, but still I think it's a pretty safe long position. Stop loss below this low, right? I mean, if I just show you the long setup very quickly, that was the setup, and my target honestly would be at least $3,100. What do we have? Is it a surprise we have a daily imbalance? So that would be my target at least. It's a very easy trade, 6 to 1. I mean, yeah, pretty easy what's happening right now. And we probably want to focus on long positions. So, and by the way, if you guys have any questions regarding altcoins, Bitcoin, anything, just send them in the live chats and I'll review your altcoins. So before we go into Bitcoin, I mean, I've already recapped Ethereum, but again, it has hit our major level. We got a big bounce. We sent you one support on Solana, remember? It was this area around $130. We got a very big reversal. And we also had our last coin, which was Link. We had the support 13.8, which did also offer a very nice bounce. So overall, very accurate levels as usual. I mean, I try to keep my levels as accurate as possible, and every single altcoin is experiencing a pretty nice bounce to the upside. So with that said, let's go into Bitcoin. In our last update, we were looking at two Elliott wave counts. The first one, which I said was a bit. I think I need to mute my Discord right now. It's not very important. In any case, well, we had two counts. This one was a bit less likely. If you remember what I said, I still have the level marked out, $80,400. The first count was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we were in for a bigger wave 2, which would have brought us probably below the low of this entire range, which was a less likely count, but my favorite count was, once again, it was that it was a 1 2 into a 1 2 into another 1 2, and then we saw a reversal to the upside, which is what's happening right now on Bitcoin. And you can see again, the only level that I shared did offer very nice support. So again, extremely accurate analysis. While everyone was starting to buy on Bitcoin around $89,000, $86,000, even though you had absolutely no long positions, you waited for that level. I did not long Bitcoin, but I did long Ethereum. and I can tell you I'm very happy with my position. It's in very good profits, and I can move my stop loss very close to my entry and be done with it. So Bitcoin, except like if you don't look at the Elliott wave count, I do want to look at this channel. What I would do as usual is you take the volume profile, take the breakdown, and guess what we have around our resistance area? We have the value area low, which will be a massive level. So at this point, as we've broken above my area, I would remove this, mark out the value area low, which comes in at 92,700 and which is being retested right now. We have a small rejection on the 4-hour, but nothing to be scared of, right? So right here, there's a couple of things that we have to be aware of. Just want to make sure that everyone is here. Oh, Savas is Xartons. I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. In any case, it's nice to know that you're here. So, I mean, it's pretty simple here. We have the value area low and you have two scenarios. Either we get the rejection, right, and we drop lower, break back below this low, or we push back into it, we get the reclaim, and then at this point, this would be a massively bullish sign, and we could expect a new all-time high on Bitcoin, because effectively, what this would have been if you even remove the volume profile, if I just remove this, is that you had a channel. So you could look at this as a sideways channel. So you take the highs to the lows, and what you had was a fake out below the lows. Even though it was a very big fake out, it's still considered as a fake out. You got the reclaim of the range, and right now the most important level to reclaim is the value area low. $92,700 will be the big level on Bitcoin. So with that said, if we go on the lower time frames, we do have a couple of imbalances, but they're not, I mean, I don't find them too interesting right now because I'm seeing a lot of strengths on Bitcoin. If I go on the 15-minute as well, the imbalances are way below us, so I like to see this. If I start to see this candle, for example, turn into an imbalance and we have a wick above 92.7, then this might be interesting for a short position. But right now, I don't think. I mean, honestly, I'm just not interested in short positions. So that's mainly it for Bitcoin, right? We had the value area low that I showed you. So just take this volume profile, value area low 92.7, major level to reclaim. I don't really see a short position. We do have an imbalance actually. Let me just mark this out, remove this. If I go on the 4-hour, we have the same imbalance, so I do prefer this level. Remove this, 93.9. And let's take the anchored view up from the all-time high, and that's coming a bit higher. How about I take it from here? That's pretty interesting. So I don't have a plan yet, by the way, because I just made it back home. I wasn't online on the Discord if you didn't see me, which was why I was late on my Ethereum long. I just made it back home, which is why I'm doing a live. I just don't want to film an update. So open interest up 8%, wide price is up 9%, so that's not too worrying. That's actually very nice to see. Funding rates, what's happening with funding? I mean, it's still pretty negative, right? So, I mean, I'm liking this move up overall. You can see we have the anchored view up. We have the 4-hour imbalance, which is also a 1-hour imbalance, sorry. So actually, this would probably be my only level on Bitcoin, 93.9. I'll update you inside the Discord if we don't get the move right now. If we do get it now, of course, we can take a live trade on Bitcoin, a short position, for example, and the target might be maybe the fill of this hourly imbalance or maybe even the midpoint around 89.2. But let's see what happens around 93.9. So it's pretty messy stream, honestly, just because I don't have a plan yet. I mean, I just opened my long on ETH because again we've had a huge level that was hit. Man, you can see that the bounce is just, I mean, it's amazing, honestly. So before I move on, I just want to know if you guys have any questions, maybe Bitcoin trades, altcoin trades, new altcoin levels, new altcoins that I could analyze. If you guys have anything to, I mean, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'd be very happy to analyze some new altcoins because I'm looking for even more longs on altcoins. So Ethereum, let's go over it quickly. You probably don't want to see the fill of this imbalance, right? I mean, you don't want to see a drop back towards the daily open, so towards 2.2. That's what I can say right now. We have this move up. You would ideally like somewhere around the midpoint of the imbalance and even higher to offer support. I would like this move to get even more aggressive and to not offer very deep retracements. So even the midpoint of the 4 hour, I mean, if it gets revisited, of course, it could offer support. But honestly, like, I I don't want to see deep retracements. That's basically what I'm saying right now. Solana, same thing. I mean, it's just hit our support and it's just straight up. You could mark out this imbalance on Solana. What are you guys saying on the Discord? So Trump, I mean, guys, just news are so unimportant. News are so unimportant. I mean, something, something quick about the news. I mean, guys, was this move caused by the news? No, it wasn't. Because again, like we gave you one level on Link. Guess what? We tapped our level and we got the bounce. We gave you one level on Solana. We tapped our level and we got the bounce. We gave you one level on Ethereum. We tapped our level and we got the bounce. Bitcoin, same thing. We tapped our level and we got the bounce. So, I mean, honestly, for you guys inside the Discord, I would say just stop looking at news overall. It's not very helpful. If price hits into a support and you have imbalances and you have a good reaction, then this will offer a long position, no matter the news. Same thing with shorts. I mean, if you have a big resistance, you have imbalances, you have a big reaction, just open the short position. It really doesn't matter what the news is telling me. I personally never look at news. I don't even look at CME gaps. The only reason I looked at this CME gap is because so many people were talking about it. So I wanted to see the front run of the CME gap. So just forget about the news. It's just useless. You have news all over the place. You have a bad economy. You have Trump with the tariffs. I mean, you have wars. It's not very useful. So back to the comments. Do you guys have any questions? I don't see any questions. So, you know what? I'll think I'll do a quick look at ADA. We'll take a look at ADA. What? Yeah, that's a pretty strong coin. I mean, what happened there? I would say probably 75% of the wick. Let's take this. 25, yeah, 75% of the wick. I mean, I told you, I mean, pretty easy level. I don't think I would have traded it because I don't love this coin, honestly. I don't think it has the greatest fundamentals, even though I'm not a fundamental analyst. Yeah, what happened is, again, 75% of the wick and you get the bounce higher. So, ADA, where's the all-time high on ADA? Okay, actually, we can start to look already at targets for this move up if anyone is in an ADA long position. Definitely weekly imbalance 1.41. I don't see any interesting volume profiles. This one is too big to be interesting, honestly. We can look. I honestly don't see it. The volume profile of this. I mean, yes, we had the retest of the point of control as well. That was pretty nice. But yeah, I would say on ADA probably expect higher prices. 1.41 would definitely be a big target. If we break above it, I would then look at this candle, which comes after this wick, $2. So pretty much I have two targets on ADA, 1.41, $2. That's a quick analysis on ADA. What happened to XRP reminds me of ADA. Yeah. visit 75% of the wick as well. You can see, by the way, this target on XRP, the logic behind it is going to be the same on Ethereum. If I just look at this very quickly, 75% of the wick, it's a bit less accurate than ADA, but you see what happens, 75% and you get the bounce. So the logic of the target, we'll take the same thing and do this on Ethereum. You have a daily imbalance, it was partially filled, you have the big wick, you have pretty ugly highs right there. We go back on Ethereum and look at this, we have the exact same thing. A daily imbalance, this one is completely untapped, so I would like to go back to it. And do we have a double top right there, or even more? Yeah, we do have, I would say we have like a triple top probably, like with this and this and this. So we have a triple top, pretty ugly highs on Ethereum. We're seeing the big bounce, we have the daily imbalance. That would be my first big target for Ethereum, $3,100. As long as it can maintain an aggressive move up, right? You can take, yeah, something maybe somewhere around 2,350. Yeah, that's definitely what I would look at actually. You can take the midpoint, 2,376. That would be my first support on Ethereum. I wouldn't really like for price to lose it. Oh, just deleted it. Okay, so if you guys don't have any requests on altcoins, I mean, I'll just do a quick recap on Bitcoin. I mean, you can see, by the way, for the short, I would have been interested to take a live short with you, but for now, I'm not seeing a 15-minute imbalance. I want to see an imbalance at the highs. Maybe what we got, since the hourly candle still has 20 minutes to close, so maybe you got a first rejection, a consolidation, you close the hourly candle, take the highs, and then reverse. I don't think that's going to happen, simply because I'm so bullish on Ethereum. So it would be it would make sense to also expect higher on Bitcoin. But if you do get this consolidation, an hourly candle close, a move higher, a move back down, if I see an imbalance at the highs, then this could offer a short position. So this setup would take 20 minutes to play out, right? So if you do want to wait for it, it would be 20 minutes. For now, of course, I just don't see anything at this high. So no shorts to be taken. If you're in a long position as well, I think that there's no need to take profits, right? I mean, there's no bearish reaction. You can even use a trailing stop loss. We've reclaimed the value area low now. Pretty bullish. Okay, so quick recap. I mean, unfortunately, we've seen the bounce before I was able to do my live stream. But main thing you want to be aware of is going to be the anchored view up right now. If we break above it, it would represent a break back into the value area low, which came in at $92,900. So $900. So we have now reclaimed this range. Ideally, I would like to see higher prices. At this point, it's pretty simple. We can expect a new all-time highs. We've had the fake out below the range. You can take the range low at $89,000. So right there, you had the fake out below the range low. You can see that it was retested as resistance. You drop, you have now reclaimed the range. You've reclaimed the value area low. And we have one interesting resistance around the anchored view up. Right now, if we go on the 15-minute, I don't see the short position, but in 20 minutes, just be aware of the fact that we could get offered maybe a day trading short position for a drop back down into this order block maybe. So this would be your short. If you have a high, you drop back, maybe stop loss above the highs, and you drop back into this order block. So on Bitcoin, again, right now, it makes sense to expect higher. On this drop, we expected lower all the way down. You had one target, $80,500. When we hit our target, I sent you just two scenarios right there. It was either a reversal before the fill of the CME gap or drop much lower. And we know what happened after that. Bitcoin reversed much higher. So analysis remains extremely accurate. I'll try to keep it this way as long as I can, honestly. But again, reclaim of the range low. we can expect higher on Bitcoin. Of course, on this entire uptrend, I don't see any very interesting support. I would like these imbalances to be left behind. So you could mark the open of this imbalance as support, but honestly, I would say that right now, if you miss the low, right, and you don't even have a long on altcoins, so maybe on Ethereum, on Link, I mean Link, look at this, guys. We sent this inside the Discord just to show you again. This was not that was Ethereum. Link again. I mean, we had our first support 14.9 and we had 13.8, and what I said was that either we've bottomed or we can take the low one more time and then reverse. 13.8, 13.8, we took the low one more time and we got the bounce. So levels were sent in advance. Same thing with Solana, same thing with Ethereum, same thing with Bitcoin, 80,500. This one was a bit less accurate, but still, you can see that on the daily time frame. I mean, it's just a very well respected level. So overall, expect higher. I personally have my longs on Ethereum. I'll see, I might be interested in opening a long position on Link if we do get a retracement. Can I find the level very quickly? I don't know. Order block. I would like to leave this imbalance unvisited. So probably this order block could look interesting, but yeah, let's see how the week goes. So I guess that was it for this live. Honestly, I know that it was a bit messy. Honestly, I didn't have the most structured plan, but I mean, I told you guys, I just got back home. I saw the move up. I decided to go live, and anyways, I had sent you the levels for every single coin. So if you were not able to take these trades on your own, well, you probably need a bit more training. But again, I mean, just look at the accuracy, right? So with that said, again, look, Bitcoin is just moving higher. You see, we hit our levels and there's no reaction, so there's no need to take shorts. There's no need to take profit on your long positions. I'm personally going to stay very happily in my Ethereum long and maybe even average up next week if we do get a nice dump to the downside. Okay. Love the speed with all the circumstances, though. What circumstances? I'm being honest with you guys. Like, I never look at news. I find it so freaking useless. Please, guys, keep it simple. Like, I'm trying to help you as much as I can to take these very easy trades. When you have a support level, right, and you see imbalances at the lows, for example, I mean, the news will not change the charts at all. You have an imbalance, you have a support, you even have a reaction after you see this candle start to push into this imbalance. So what you can do without looking at any news, you can even take the long position a bit higher, stop loss below the lows, target would have been at $92,000, which was my main target and resistance. It got broken, so there's no there's no even need to take profits. Now you can just trail your stop loss, maybe put it below the low of this candle. You have a stop loss in profits, a risk-free long, and you can just enjoy your life. So just forget the news. It's a waste of time. It's impossible to predict them. It's just useless. Just PA. How do I check imbalances for dummies? So since this is my indicator, right? I mean, for anyone that's new and doesn't know, I mean, I've created this indicator, so it's not available on TradingView or anywhere else. What you can do very simply is look at large-bodied candles, right? So when you have a large-bodied candle, look at the volume of this candle, for example. If you take the volume, if you see high volume on large-bodied candle, mark this candle on your chart. And usually you want to on your chart, and usually what you want to do is either take the open, and usually personally I 90% of the time I look at the open, or if I'm looking at them, or or for example, if it's a strong trend and I want to see a reversal. In this case, for example, I could take the midpoint of this 4-hour candle, right? So instead of marking the open of this candle as a support, since that's a very strong uptrend, and as I said, I don't want to see a big retracement, you could look first at the midpoint of this imbalance for support and then a reversal to the upside. And if you don't have my indicator, which you don't because it's not available yet, what you can do again, look at the volume of this candle. It's very high volume, so this tells you that this is an imbalance. You can mark out the open, you can mark out the midpoint, and start training around these candles. Because trust me, it's a very simple concept, but if you overdo it, I mean, you'll just get lost. I mean, I don't know, I think you'll just get lost into it because you do have a lot of high volume candles. So if you don't know exactly which imbalance to look at, for example, in this case, I had a target. If I just remove all of this, one sec. So when we got the move down, even though we had this imbalance and we had this imbalance, the only imbalance that I looked at was this imbalance, right? At $92,000. Why? Because first of all, it's intuition. I've built this indicator, so I know exactly which imbalance I want to see next. And that's why this was my target for the move higher. And also, of course, if you look at context a bit, you did have the value area low, for example, that's confluence around this area, which does tell you that, I mean, we could get the retest of the value area low, and if you got a bearish reaction, then this could have offered a nice short position. So I mean, in short, that's what you want to see. Of course, it's a bit more complicated than that. I'll dive into it in future streams if you have more questions. But honestly, it's a very simple concept, but it's extremely powerful. Every single support except Ethereum actually, but every single support on Solana, you can see the respect of this level. This support was based on imbalances. Litecoin, again, this support that I sent last week inside the Discord was based on imbalances. You can see you have a 12-hour imbalance. Link, same thing, you had an imbalance. So if I show you, it was a weekly imbalance, 13,000.8. You take the open, you tap into it, and you get the bounce higher. So it's a very simple concept, but when you master it, trust me, for me, that's all I need on the charts. And I've shown it over and over again on YouTube, on Discord, the accuracy of my levels. I don't take every single trade. I do miss some trades. For example, on Bitcoin, I did miss this long, but I mean, the predictions do remain pretty accurate. So that's a small rant on imbalances. So yeah, just a quick answer to your question, how to check imbalances. Just look first at large bodied high volume candles. So as you can see, you have a lot of volume. You would probably focus on this one because it has the largest body and the largest volume. So this candle would probably be an important support to hold. I haven't analyzed it yet, but that's probably what I would look for. And by the way, look at what's happening. We have a rejection right on the anchored VWAP. Okay, and guess what? We had as confluence, we had the imbalance. So this candle now closes in 8 minutes. Do you guys want to stay on and see if we do get the short position? I don't see an imbalance at the highs, for example, so I don't know if I want to take this short. I don't know. Why did you miss this long? Didn't you have time for it, or didn't spot? I mean, I did spot it, right? I mean, I did send the update inside the Discord. Where was it? So quickly, my thought process here, when I sent this scenario, it was pretty simple. I didn't have a clear support level below us. I mean, I did have $80,500, but around this low, which was, I think, 78.4, maybe, I don't know, but at 78.4, for example, I did not have a clear support level. So if I took the long position, and you guys know that usually I trade with, I mean, decently high leverage, I didn't have a clear invalidation. So what I wanted to do is wait for this scenario to play out, so the bounce higher, and then what I wanted to do is wait for a drop to the downside, so a retracement, and then to open a long position. And you can see, by the way, that I do have an alert right there, as I was not home, $83,700, because I did want to be aware of because I did want to know if Bitcoin was going to drop lower. I was very interested in a long position against this imbalance, $82,000. So that's why I had an alert there in case we dropped. I did want to look for a long position. Why? Because again, my scenario of the front run of the CME gap played out very well. We had a 4-hour imbalance at the lows that got recovered. This is a very bullish sign. 1 hour, same thing. We had imbalances. They both got recovered. So at this point, I had a very nice level, $82,000, and I did want to long this level very aggressively. So my thought process in the end was not so much that I missed this long, it was maybe that I was too patient. So what I wanted to do is, instead of opening, for example, a long right there and having a bit of a wider stop loss, which personally I don't really like, I wanted to wait for a retracement. You take the long there, you have a very tight stop loss, and you have an extremely nice trades. And that's personally the trades that I love. It's tight stop losses, decently big positions, and very large take profits. Very often they do hit, but it does mean that sometimes I do miss moves on the charts, like this move that I missed on Bitcoin. And you can see again, I mean, the anchored VWAP, guys. This is purely live analysis. Like, I did this in 10 minutes. Look at the high again against the anchored VWAP. I just don't have an imbalance, unfortunately. So, do you guys have any question? That thing on plus. I was also expecting a drop around where you say here. Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty good level. I don't know if we had any other confluences. Can take the volume profile. The point of control was a bit higher, so meh. Maybe it wasn't the best confluence. I should have been maybe a bit more aggressive. When I saw this imbalance, maybe long with a stop loss below this low, I don't know, but I mean, it doesn't matter. My setup was the imbalance. This is my strategy. If I miss a trade, it is what it is. Any other questions? Anchored VWAP. So I can show you the tool. It's should be right there. Yeah, you can see. So if you go on this one, on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click on the arrow and you have the anchored VWAP right there. What I did is I took it from this high. So basically right when this consolidation ended, if you remember, we had a triangle. Price was going sideways, and when price put this high, that's when it gave us a reversal. So that's why I took it from there. You can see again it's offering very nice resistance. We have a 1 hour imbalance. We don't 30 minutes, no, 15 minutes. I mean, honestly, guys, you know, I'm in my ETH long. Do I want to hedge it? What's open interest doing? Let me look at open interest. And if you have more questions, by the way, just send them in the chat. I'm very happy to help. Oof. Yeah. I mean, open interest is starting to get a bit aggressive. You can see you had a big jump right there. I don't think I want to short this yet. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? If we do get an imbalance, I probably will open a short, but we just don't have an imbalance. So, I mean, my main setup is not there, so there's no point for me in taking the short. No imbalance. Any other question? I'm gonna see how it works. Okay, I mean, a quick lesson on anchored VWAP. Nartos, I forgot how to say your name. Basically, what you want to do in general is look at major highs. So, for example, of course, you do have the all-time high. But actually look, if you take the anchor VWAP from the all-time high, guess what happened? You tap right into it, and this gave us the high before that big reversal to the downside. So what you want to do usually is look at major highs and major lows, and this is where you would take the anchored VWAP from. So for example, you can take it from there even. And this one, you can see that actually it did offer support right there for a bounce much higher. So major highs, major lows, and usually when you tap it once, personally I like to just remove it from my chart. So this one, as it got tapped already, I don't think it's very important anymore. So that's why right now I would take the next major high, which would be this one. Oh, and yeah, actually what am and we've tapped it. Any other questions? Can you check CRV? CRV. You know, actually, before I check CRV, I just want to give you one coin that I was looking at, which was Mantle. It's an interesting coin, interesting project. Oh, you can see I had a support 0.72. Let's start on the weekly. I would definitely mark this instead of the daily imbalance. So this is a much more, yes, this is a more accurate support. Do we have a 12-hour imbalance? We do. Wow. Okay, this is a big support on MNT. So actually, this is a spontaneous setup that we have on Mantle. Very interesting project. Of course, not financial advice. I'm just purely looking at the charts. So what we have right there is definitely a very nice setup on MNT. The only thing that's bothering me, actually, no, I'm not bothering. Yeah, we do have a lot of imbalances. MNT, your target would definitely be take this imbalance. $1, 1.05 basically. So is this a worthwhile trade? Stop loss at the lows. It's 11% stop loss. I mean, it's a bit too big, but it's not the best trade. As you can see, 3 to 1. So even though we've hit our support, I was late to spot it, even though I did clearly analyze it before. I mean, I had the support marked out, but for some reason I didn't have alerts. But yeah, this trade here, I mean, it's not the best one. You have a 3 to 1 RRR, so not the best one. But just a coin to be aware of in case maybe we get a retracement to the downside. You ask for CRV. USDT. Okay. Again, weekly. You know, I can already tell you I don't love this low. Double bottom before filling the weekly imbalance. I don't like this, but let me give it a look. You can see you have this wick. I don't like this low on CRV, but with that said, we do have a nice setup coming below price. Do we have a 12-hour imbalance with the weekly? We don't. So you don't have the most confluence compared to Litecoin, to Link, for example, or even Solana. But you know, it's still. I do believe that it's still a nice setup. So you have a double bottom, which personally I don't really like. You do have a weekly imbalance. You also have a weekly imbalance at the lows. Actually, this is extremely important to note. So I would say on CRV, I could be wrong, of course, because you already have a big bounce. But what I would look for on this coin is probably one more job to the downside. And then if you see this support holding 0.32, then this would offer a very nice long position. And your target, again, you just take this daily imbalance 0.68, so 0.7 pretty much. But the problem with that is that since I'm expecting higher on Ethereum, on Link, on Litecoin, even on Solana, I don't see how this coin like would drop on its own if it's a very strong coin, because if it's a strong coin and Ethereum starts to move up, you would expect this coin to start moving up as well. So that's the only thing that's bothering me, right? Is that yes, we do have an ugly low, but as I'm expecting higher on other altcoins, will this one reach its big support level 0.32? But keep it in mind, okay? So just note this level, have your alert below this double bottom. If you drop, you hit the level, you see a reaction, you can take the long. Again, stop loss below the lows, take profit at the highs, and here you can see you have a very nice trade 12 to 1. So decent setup on CRV. Just keep this level in mind, 0.32. And I don't like this low. So you are thinking BTC is going to make a new all-time high? Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, just let's look at the anchor view app, right? I mean, it is offering a bit of rejection, but I mean, we have to say that we've reclaimed the value area low, even though we don't have a close above it yet. The close comes in 2 hours still, so actually there's still time. If you can close above it on the 4 hour and then you get the job, for example, and you hold it as support, then yes, of course, I mean, it makes sense to expect a new all-time high on Bitcoin. You had the fake out below the range, you push back into it. Oh no, actually, that's not the value. Hello, wait, my bad. You take it from here, actually. Yeah, so that's actually a bit. So yeah, that's less confirmed actually, since the value yellow is going to be here. So you can see the 4 hour, we're getting the rejection on the anchored view up on the hourly imbalance that I showed you. So but yes, of course for now it makes sense to expect higher, except if we get a bigger rejection of the anchored view up, and then we lose this low pretty much. Then at this point, I mean, we have to expect a bigger drop to the downside. But again, I mean, honestly, just for now, I would just remove all of the analysis. Just keep in mind that we have reclaimed the anchored view up. This is a very bullish sign. But remove this. 15-minute, not seeing imbalances. Yeah, you know, I'm not seeing the short just yet, so I wouldn't short here. Maybe if we get another high and another rejection, then I might short, but something like this, right? I think this would be a bit more interesting if we take the high one more time and then drop a bit more longs, get an imbalance, and then reverse. Yeah. And you can see that I didn't really have my plan because we have a 4 hour order block right there, which is also an imbalance. That's interesting to me, which comes above the anchored view up, which would um, pair up nicely with my idea to take the high one more time and then reverse. That's of course for a quick short position that could turn into a swing trade, right? So I think this, as right now, I'm not seeing imbalances, right? I could be wrong, of course, on the highs, and that's just the high and we drop lower. But personally, I don't see a setup. So I would like to see at least one more high made, 98, 95.9. And then, of course, if we get an imbalance, I'll update you on the Discord if I took the short position or not. And we can look for a day trade short. Yeah, I think this scenario makes more sense. What about this? This was the range that we were looking at. You can see we have the point of control and the value allowed. They're too close, unfortunately, so it's not the best confluence. Sorry for asking so much. Could you? No, it's no problem. By the way, like I need questions to keep the live going, so I'll take it. I'm already in a trade, so I don't have much to do. Could you maybe show what settings you have on the view up? You have just removed the bands or also changed anything else as well? No, it's the same. I've just removed the bands, right? I mean, you can see these are ticked off. It's the standard. It's not percentage or anything else. On the style, I mean, these are not important to remove since I removed them in the input. And the source is going to be the candle close. I think HL means close, or is this an average calculation? High, low, close. Oh no, that's high, low, close divided by 3. So that's actually an average calculation. So you can check which source you have. Personally, I do use the average, right, divided by 3. So high plus low plus close divided by 3, and this is the source that I personally use for the anchored VWAP. Any other questions? Maybe some altcoins? For the CRV guy, honestly, like I like this coin, right? Because it just gives me another setup to look at in case we do get the drop. I mean, again, if we see the reaction, it could offer a pretty nice trade. Double bottom, yeah, one last dump, and then reverse higher. It's just, again, it's hard to see it happen as Ethereum is moving up so aggressively. Let's look at Ethereum again. What's happening to Ethereum? Yep. They're moving up pretty nicely. Okay, so if you have no more questions, I think that will be it. So I'll do a final recap in case you guys have more questions and you have time to send them, but I just want to do a clean recap as I usually do in my YouTube updates. So let's look at Bitcoin one final time. We have an interesting area, okay? You can see we're getting the rejection on the anchored VWAP on the 1 hour imbalance. I don't think that this is a major high yet. Personally, I would like to see at least one more push up. And then if we get imbalances, if we get a reaction, then this could offer a short position. If we start to drop and we break the low of this candle, honestly, we could get a very quick drop to fill these two imbalances on the 1 hour. So I would be aware of this. That's why I said that I don't want a deep retracement, right? So maybe a drop to here, and you get the reversal higher. For now, that's maybe what I would look for to the downside. To the upside, again, you have the anchored VWAP, which you could short. Personally, I don't love it because, again, let's go back on the 15-minute. I don't see any imbalance. That's not my preferred setup. So that's why I would wait for one more high. If you see an imbalance, rejection, you can open the short position, which will be a day trade at first, but it could turn into a swing trade. So short position, let's say right there, stop loss somewhere above the highs, and then you would look for the fill of these imbalances. You have a 9-to-1 RRR, so a very good trade, a very safe trade, as well as this move has been very aggressive. We're hitting into some big levels. So I think, I think this is what I would look for now. It would be a short against this level. If we break above it, for now, I just don't see any more shorts. This is going to be a big area for Bitcoin. We have seen a very big move. If we move higher, I mean, we just have to expect a new all-time high. Except, of course, if I wake up tomorrow and I find new interesting resistances, but right now, honestly, I just don't have them. For now, it would be 95.9. Look for imbalances for people inside the Discord. I will update you if we come on. If we move up, we get the imbalance, we get the rejection, I will update you to hedge my long position that I have on Ethereum. And again, this could turn into a much bigger swing trade. So nice bounce on Bitcoin. It's not out of the woods. I think that's what they say. It's not out of the woods just yet. Just look for this level. We do have a big imbalance. Remember, imbalances tend to get recovered, except if it's a very strong trend. So in this case, if this move up is just a bull trap, for example, this 4-hour imbalance and even this one at the daily open, these imbalances will get recovered, and this is why this could offer a very nice short position. Okay, so I hope that this stream was helpful. It was our first stream. If you have any comments, any recommendations, I don't know, any feedback, just send them in the comments down below. Thank you for everyone who sent questions. I was more than happy to help. And yeah, let's hope we don't trade on hope, of course, but Ethereum, we have a big target, ugly highs, daily imbalance. 3,100. We have hit a big support level and we don't want this imbalance to get recovered. So with all of that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this stream, and for the people inside the Discord, well, I will see you very soon. And for anyone that's passing by through YouTube, of course, you can just join our Discord. I think the link will be posted. I think I think it will be posted in the description. I'm not sure though, so if you don't find it, you can just open our Twitter account and you'll find our Discord link right there. So again, see you soon everyone, and it was a pretty nice stream.